Wellness. And today is all about platforms and how to get started on using your brand new Life Pro platform. I've been keeping an eye on our VIP Facebook group. If you're not a part of that group yet, and if you have one of our many wonderful Life Pro products, make sure that you join our Facebook group on, it'll say VIP Life Pro, and you'll have to answer some questions by mentioning which product you might have bought so that you can join the 35,000 other members currently part of that group and see the success stories and learn from all of us as experts how to use your product optimally at home for the given outcome that you're looking for. But I am finding in reading some of these comments that many of you have bought one of our many Life Pro platforms, our whole body vibration platforms. Many of you have bought them, but you haven't taken them out of the box yet. So today is all about what to do when you take it out of the box, because I know many of you are scared to death to see how to turn it on, what you're supposed to do. Maybe you're already in pain and you don't want to hurt yourself any further, so you're just intimidated or concerned about not having an expert right there at your side. But I'm right here holding your hand, ready to take you through step by step as to how you can get the most out of your Life Pro platform from the convenience of your home. Make sure and save this video because it will be one that you come to watch over and over and over again in order to get the best of all of these experiences based on what you're feeling for the day. The most important thing that I can tell you is that it is a personal experience and it's different for every one of you. So don't worry about if your friend has one and they're getting results faster than you are, or they're doing this versus that and it's different from what you're doing, because the best part about the whole body vibration platforms is there's no rules really. It's going to be really, really hard for you to hurt yourself further, whether we have to start you from a seated position or whether we go to a standing position holding on to an object or a countertop so that you don't have to worry about being unbalanced. You don't have to get in shape in order to get on it. You don't have to feel pain-free in order to get on it. In fact, you get on it to get into shape and to feel more pain relief. That's how I was introduced to the Life Pro platform in 2018. I've been with the company ever since because it truly gave me hope, took away my pain. Having a surgery, my entire body was hurting from a total hysterectomy. I have fibromyalgia. Right now, the weather is cold and moist, not good if you're in the Midwest with autoimmune disease, because it makes it so much harder on your body on a cellular level to heal itself and maintain normal daily functions. What is really cool about our platforms is that as long as you're getting on it, even if it's just 10 minutes a day, you're going to feel less tension, less stress, less pain, more fluid in your movements. You're going to feel like you're walking on clouds. So even if you're using it to jumpstart the engine in the morning, or whether it's you're trying to wind down at the end of your day, it doesn't matter what your purpose or intention is with the vibration platforms. Just get on it and get going. All right. Now, one thing I want to share with you today, it is the wonderful weekday of January the 12th of 2024. Happy New Year. And with every Happy New Year, there's a Happy New You. So we here at Life Pro are excited to bring out the best in you in this new year as we are jump starting another 365 days of the year. We're trying to give you opportunities to enhance your health, because remember, the body has the ability to maintain itself. It has the ability to heal. It has the ability to survive. It's just when we get too stressed out, whether it's in mind, body, or spirit, when we get out of alignment within ourselves and we overstress about things more often than not beyond our control, our body can't keep up. And so it becomes more full of toxic energy, a lot of stress hormones. You're not feeling as happy, and then the fear starts to set in. So remember, as you are wondering what the results and the benefits are going to be behind the vibration platforms, it is very different and personal for every single one of you. And so just make sure that you're not looking for the big end result tomorrow. So if you're wanting to get on there and lose 30 pounds, it isn't going to happen in a month. Okay. If you go back and you watch my journey on social media through Facebook and YouTube, starting during the pandemic, and we're going to say going back to April of 2020, you can watch my entire transformation of melting away 40 pounds. And I was almost 200 pounds when I started that journey, and I'm 144 now. It's the lightest I've been in my adult life. And I do it by exercising less intense, keeping those inflammatory hormones down, and keeping my body fluid and in motion. Remember, motion is lotion, mood is medicine. So if you're not moving enough, it creates stagnation in the body in which it cannot continue to heal itself and goes into more of a survivor state. If you are trying to lose fat, it is near impossible to lose fat if you are excessively stressed or doing things all the time in a heightened state of panic or stress. So if you're going, and you are, quote, burning the candle at both ends, you're not going to lose fat. You're going to lose muscle, which then makes you more unbalanced and creates more toxic energy in the body. So remember, in order to lose fat, you have to make sure that you're sleeping at night. 8 hours a night is ideal. 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep is doable. Anything less than that, it is really hard for your body to restore itself because it actually heals and repairs itself when you sleep at night. So if you're not sleeping well and you're stressed, you're not going to lose fat. You might lose weight, but it's not going to be fat and it's not going to fill out in the clothes like you're hoping it will. So you didn't pack it all on in a month. You didn't pack it all on likely in a couple of months or maybe in a year. It's not going to come off in a few weeks. So remember, A, B's, and C's. Have a good attitude. And just remember, celebrate what you can do with the vibration platform. Celebrate what's going right in your life. Celebrate what small things that you're feeling that are different, or even mood change, okay? So attitude is number one. Belief. Believe that it is possible. Because if you don't think it's possible to feel pain relief, if you don't feel possible that the vibration platform is going to reverse or help you restore your condition from osteoporosis, or even the testimonial of going into remission with MS. If you believe that you're always going to be in pain with fibromyalgia and you let that define you, if you believe that you're always going to have, cellulite or lumpy tissue, or that you're always going to have a big belly, or wherever it is that your insecurities are, if you believe that that's what you're going to either do or become with the use of the vibration platform, you are not going to get the outcome that you want because your body will block that from happening because you're mentally not believing in the possibilities. So remember, all the movements we're doing on these vibration platforms come with great purpose, and with belief and with attitude, all possibilities are available. Last but not least, number C, or letter C. Letter C is consistency. So as soon as you get started and you start to feel the benefits, don't stop. Like, you can use it multiple times a day. You can use it several days a week. You can use it for every day, every month of the entire year. So just because you're starting to feel fresh and you're starting to feel lean and you're starting to feel skinny, less pain, maybe you're growing more hair, like, because that all happens. Your skin's starting to glow. You're sleeping better. When you start to do those things and experience the positive benefits of being on one of the Life Pro vibration platforms, don't stop using it, because as soon as you stop using it, you might not experience those benefits the same, because our body is transforming and regenerating every hour of every day to keep us alive. So make sure and use it just for maintenance. You don't have to have anything wrong with you to get on the platform. Just get on it and just use it as part of your daily practice, whether it's first thing in the morning when you roll out of bed for 10 minutes, or at lunchtime when you need to take a break, or maybe it's in the evening time, or wherever it might be. You get up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep. Instead of using it on a high level of intensity, use it on a low level of intensity, because it will knock that nervous system back into the restoration state, in that parasympathetic state, and allows those sleep hormones to kick in so that you can actually drift off into a deep sleep. So make sure, good attitude, make sure you believe in yourself, know that you're worth it, and be consistent. And with those things in mind, we will move forward. Now, on today, January 12th of 2024, I want to remind you really quick, we got a really, really neat contest going on. It's an extraordinary rewarding system. It started on December 27th, and it's following through until January 31st, so you still have a little bit of time. But it is a big, it's a big New Year, New You, $5,000 worth of health and wellness products for multiple companies that we are gifting away. And you get to earn points, okay? So we want you to use that attitude and that belief, being consistent in whatever products that you're using, and knowing that a transformation experience is possible, and that it's going to, we're going on this journey, this wellness journey together, leading you with these multiple live videos a week that are always saved into a video library that you can go back and click and save and review every day. So if you want Amber in your den every day, you got me. If you want Debbie in your den every day, you got her. And if you want Roseanne teaching you yoga and fitness every day, you got her too. And then you've got Joel, the master creator of all of Life Pro. So you have us all every day, wherever you want us, when you want us, on YouTube or in the Facebook VIP group. There's a list of videos there that you can tap into, and it's free. So take advantage of that. When you do go to look into using our videos, make sure if you're looking for something very specific, getting started on your platform, when you find the list of videos, then you can go into a little search bar and type in whatever your unit is and whatever you're wanting to work, whether it's butt, guns, thighs, abs, core, whatever, pain relief, whatever it is you're looking for, use that in the little search bar within the list of our subscription videos. And then it will pull up any and every video that any one of us has taught over the last 5 years, so that you have the science and the expertise at your fingertips for free. So don't forget about that. Some of the products that we're gifting away, we've got a Peloton bike. That's a game changer. If you've never been on a Peloton bike, it's valued at $2,200. We've got a Hatch alarm clock restore system, $200. We've got the AGI greens powder. So if you've never used athletic greens, that's worth a value of $100. We've got the ALO air purifier. You got to be breathing in the good stuff. The more oxygen we can push into our system, the better our body on a cellular level regenerates and restores itself, and the reduction in oxidative stress that steals the oxygen from us. So the ALO air purifier, $100. Silken Infinity is worth $420. The Whoop is $215. We have a Lululemon mat. So if you decide you want to use one of our platforms, or you want to use one of our yoga rings, or any one of our wellness, strength conditioning tools, you can use that with your new Lululemon mat for $80. We've got the Fieldhouse Microgreen Growing System, so you can grow things on your own, $295. And then now we're tapping into the Life Pro goodies. So those are all the non-Life Pro goodies. Now we're getting into our products. The Life Pro Pacer Mini is a treadmill system, $350. The Life Pro Bio Remedy is an infrared sauna blanket. I like to call it the burrito wrap. It's like a sleeping bag that you can tuck in or tuck out of, and you can restore without having that big sauna in the corner of the room in your house. It's worth $190. We've got the Life Pro Aleva Chill. So when you're done doing all these great things, then you can go for a little cryo plunge in the Aleva Chill tub. And if you're wanting to, a lot of the research is showing now that if you get in the Aleva Chill tub before you do resistance training, it spikes testosterone and enhances that. So use Aleva Chill before you work out, use it after you work out. But nonetheless, it does reduce inflammation. It does help in restoring health and wellness within autoimmune conditions, and it helps athletes recover super fast. We've got the Life Pro Revitaglow, worth $100. The Life Pro Waver Mini, which I'm actually demonstrating with today, $150. And then if there's something that you want that's not on that list, we're going to give you a $500 Life Pro gift card to buy whatever you want. So if you want that sauna in the corner of the room back there, you can push that $500 towards the difference in the balance, and then we'll take care of the rest. So lots and lots of goods. But anyhow, those are all available for entry. Closes on January the 31st, so don't delay. And then the winner, we are going to announce the winner on February the 2nd. Now, you're wondering, how do I get involved? If you are here and seeing the comments, there should be a link that you can click on, and it is a direct link to register for the $5,000 giveaway. So if you don't already have one of our products and you are interested in winning one of our products, you can click on that link, enter your information, a brief amount of questions, super easy, and then you go into that big drawing. So if you don't have access to that link, comment in the box below, in whichever platform, social media platform you're listening from, and we will make sure if we have to read out the numbers and letters to you, I'm happy to do that. But if I actually show it to you, it comes up backwards on my screen. It doesn't mirror. So, but anyhow, let's make sure that we are listing, if you are on social media, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Google, if you're on Amazon, if you're on our, any part of our special groups. For each time that you're sharing experiences, we give you points for doing that. And those points are entries into that giveaway. So you can enter the giveaway and not do anything. And you can enter the giveaway and do a lot of things. And the more things you do doesn't mean that we're going to choose you, because it's a very random selected winner. But you have more options of entries. So the more that you're helping and sharing your positive experiences or what you'd like to experience from us in those social media channels, the more you're going to get entries thrown into the mix, and then the chances go up of winning and us pulling out your name in the hat. So without further ado, let's get started. So we've got, LifePro has released a lot of different platforms in the time that I've been working for them. Again, I was one of the first to buy their platforms, saved me, made a huge difference in my lifestyle. And I became in love with the entire company from that standpoint. And so I have used every product that they've ever manufactured, and I have every platform that they've ever put out, except for the waiver. I actually don't have a waiver because I ended up in loaning it out, and it's not here. We have somebody who took it, and so I'm gonna have to order me another one of those. But every other platform we've ever had, I've got here right in-house in my building. Behind me, we have the Rumble X Pro. As you can see, it has little curves on the end of it. We have my absolute favorite platform in the middle of the room, which is the Rumble X Plus. It's completely flat. And then to my side over here, we have the Rumble X 4D, which is the #1 platform that we released out. It is the first one that I ever had of the Rumble X series. It's the original Rumble X, and you can see it has much more curved edges on it. And then I have the little baby in the middle there. That's the Weaver Mini. And then I have the one in the back that has arm rails, and that's the Rhythm. So I'm going to briefly go through. I'm going to try and knock out 10 minutes on each one of these platforms and give you a sampling of the many things that you can do with the platforms. And just remember, most of the platforms, if you're using a preset programming, once you choose the preset programming on any platform, you cannot change the time, you cannot change the speed or the intensity, you cannot change the type of motor that's using. The idea of a preset program is to not have to think and to use the expertise of the scientists who have created the algorithms to flow through the ride so that you don't have to think, you can just take action. If you're interested in knowing at which preset program, at which stage of that program that the hertz is going to be at 30 or 25, you're getting a very, very specific question. And we might not have the answers for that, because there's a lot of calculations that go into creating how much hertz goes into these units. And I know that your doctors might be telling you that in order to work on, going into remission with osteoporosis, which by the way has happened to many of our clients and consumers. We have a lot of people who have completely restored their body from severe osteoporosis and get complete clear DEXA scans after the fact and are in restoration and don't have to take things. We're able to, in some ways, reverse that process, but it's a very individual experience. But if you are reading the research that states that you have to have it at a certain hertz, just be careful getting too caught up in the optimal hertz for each one of those opportunities, because in order to control an experiment within the human body, they're not taking into factor hormone levels. They're not taking into factor the fascial connective tissue and the myofascial sling adhesions. They're not taking into factor of trauma or emotion. And that fluctuates how the body restores itself excessively. So if you're worried about hertz, the Rumble X series behind me, 1, 2, and 3, we have several that fall in that category, but that is the most intense units that we make. So if you are trying to get something with a hertz up to 40, those are the units you need to look at buying. My all-time favorite unit is the Rumble X Plus because it's completely flat and it's intense and aggressive where I like to feel it, but it's not going to feel anything like a medical grade or a commercial grade vibration platform, because those are typical linear type of vibration. And so you don't have to worry about doing too much with these residential units. And they are intense enough to get the hertz up to 40. Some of them, I got to double check, but I know that these max out at 40, but a lot of that depends on the condition of your actual body as to what your body actually absorbs. So don't get too caught up into that when it comes to which part, which minute of which program you're out thinking it. Get on, go for a ride, and enjoy it. It's that simple. Okay, that's all I did to get started. It cured me in 2 weeks after nobody could cure me for almost 2 years. 2 weeks, every day, 10 minutes, preset programming, just standing on it barefoot. There was no science available back then, and it cured me doing that 14 days straight. And it took 2 years of physicians to try and tell me that there was something going on with me that they didn't know how to help me, and that thing fixed me in a matter of no time. Yes, okay, so the Relax-A-Vibe, you're gonna see it behind me. It's the white one right here. And it does the exact same thing as what the others do. So if you have the Relax-A-Vibe, it is our Rumble X model as well, but the Relax-A-Vibe is a more decorated model. It has an ottoman on top that heats, and it was ideally created for those who live in small homes, apartments, condominiums, in which you don't have room to store it away. So we invented it with the intention and designed it with the intention of making it look like a piece of furniture that's supposed to be in the room. It does the exact same thing as what the others do. It does have 3 preset programs. It does have the light show effect, and it has a heating feature. So you can use any one of our platforms using the following recommendations and get great outcomes. But just remember, don't worry about what the specific settings are for a preset program, because we've got scientists that are using algorithms that will never make sense to any of you. It's not worth worrying about it. Some of them might be printed in your manuals. I can tell you in the Rumble X models, they're not, at least not the originals. So don't lose sleep over which program is the right one. What I can tell you is that the Rumble X models have 3 motors. The Turbo and the Hovert have 2 motors. The Waver Mini behind me and the Rhythm behind me have 1 motor. And then of all the other platforms, they range between 1 and 3 motors. If it has 1 motor, you're getting 2 dimensions of vibration stimulation. If it has 2 motors, you're getting 3 levels or 3 angles of vibration stimulation. And if you have 3 motors, you're getting 4 dimensions, angles of stimulus of mechanical vibration. The higher the motor count, the more results you're going to experience. The more, not necessarily intensity, but you're going to get angles and planes of vibration accessing your body from multiple different angles, which is good. If you are just getting started and you're really worried about balance being an issue and you're afraid to go all the way up to the top with the Rumble X series, you can use the Rumble X series in a manual mode and treat it as any one of our units with just 1 motor. You can treat it as any one of our units with 2 motors, but you cannot take a 1 motor unit and convert it into a 3 motor unit. So if you're choosing right now which one to buy, if you don't already have one, then I always like to go straight to the top, because you can always choose manual mode and go with a lower level setting. Now, when it comes to oscillation is a teeter-totter effect, okay? Lateral motion, side to side. Follow the arrows. So if you're looking at a motor that's lit up and it says the arrow is going up and down like this, it's a teeter-totter motion. If the arrows are going this way, if you have a Rumble X, then it's lateral motion. And if it is a circle, it's a tickling pulsation. It means the unit doesn't move side to side or tilt, it just vibrates. It tickles you, okay? Our single motor units are an oscillation. Our double motor units are oscillation and tickle tickle. And our 3 motor units behind me are all 3. At some point into the preset programs, you'll get a sampling of all 3 motors. which can create a spiral effect, an intense effect. But none of our programs, to my knowledge, operate all three motors at the exact same time. So when you are choosing your preset program, by the way, on the Rumble X series, on all of them, P2 is my favorite. It is the most effective with me, is the most intense for me. And again, I have fibromyalgia. I feel at my absolute best when I use the P2 motor, okay? A P2 program, my bad. So when it comes to choosing on one of the two motor units, the Waver or the Turbo or the, I'm sorry, the Waver is one motor, but on a lot of our preset programs, you might have anywhere from 3 preset programs all the way up to 10 or 12 preset programs. The higher the number, the more the fluctuation and intensity of vibration. So it's kind of like a roller coaster ride. The lower the level or the lower the preset program, the less intense. So if you're just getting started, choose a P setting that's lower. And if you are really wanting to go all in, then go higher for preset program. And don't hesitate to play with the preset programs, because you might find one that you love because it does something very specific that you weren't expecting. And use that, because what works for me and what works for you and what works for everybody else are going to be very different. So make sure that you find whatever works best for you, so that you can get the most out of the programming. Because again, what you're all looking for and what I'm looking for and what they're looking for is all different, because we all have different experiences and we're all looking for different outcomes. Play around, have fun, and to remember, you are going to have to do a lot to get yourself hurt on these things, because the residential models, many of them are kind of foolproof, if you will. So they're not engineered to light up your body and rattle apart any kind of hardware from a surgery. I do recommend that if you have had a surgery recently in the last 4 weeks, no matter what the surgery is, ease into it, okay? Because we don't want to interrupt cellular regeneration and the body's natural healing process. So if you've had a total knee replacement or total hip replacement and you want to get on the platform, wait for about 4 weeks. But here's a little guideline. If you have been cleared by your doctor to walk, ride a bike, or do exercise in physical therapy that requires cardiovascular, you'll be fine. Choose a low-level setting and start from a seated position and ease into it. We don't want to go, more is not always better, especially if you're inflamed. More is not better. So err to the side of caution if you're worried about what could go wrong. And just remember, if you wake up tomorrow and your body is like, oh, and you actually feel worse, that means something has happened, that you are releasing junk in the trunk. Like the gunk is moving, and that's what you want. You're not going to feel magically 100% overnight because you've been putting crap in your system, whether it's on your skin, in your mouth, taking pills, drinking gunk outside of water. You've been doing that for years, decades, and it stores in your body like a long time. So if you feel icky tomorrow when you get off of it, get on it. Start it on a low setting. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Don't be afraid of what you feel, because it's actually going to move that junk out. It's going to push it into your lymphatic system so you can excrete it. That being said, if you are on the platform, I look forward to this, by the way, and if you start itching, game on. That means your body is breaking free of junk that is causing you problems. And when it goes into our body to store, our brain recognizes it much differently than when it stores and releases. Why? Because it mutates over time. It changes in cellular structure over time. And so when our body releases it, whether it shakes it loose or whether our body and our circulation make it more fluid, our brain recognizes it differently coming out than what it did going in. And it's like, whoa, wait a second, invader. And so it triggers a histamine response. What happens with the histamine response? We start to turn red. We start to feel tingly. We start to itch. We start to feel a little, maybe we get a headache. Maybe our tummy hurts a little bit. Keep going. That means your body is eliminating the stuff that makes you feel like crap. So keep going. And then again, last but not least, if you're standing on it, this is the one thing I hear so much, because every single one of my clients gets on one of these things, and I actually observe how their body moves, and that time it'll fix them. I'll go in and rearrange their body and rearrange their soft tissue and do a lot of massage and restructuring, but I actually get them on a platform and use it as an assessment tool to figure out where their body is holding on to tension, adhesions, and junk that it shouldn't be holding on to. And that's where I know I gotta go. So what I want you to remember when you're standing on it, if you start to feel your heart rate go up, breathing going up, if you start to feel a little upset to your tummy, or you feel like you got to go to the bathroom, that's good. That means that machine is firing new muscles that you've not felt in a long time, and your body is responding to it. Okay. One of the biggest problems that we have is our abdominal muscles do not fire more often than they should because we are overusing our back muscles. So if you have neck pain, shoulder pain, hip or back pain, it is because your muscles are not engaging very well. And we have to reverse that process. So just standing on one of these platforms for 10 minutes, even 3 minutes, is going to stimulate through mechanical vibration from the outside in. It's going to create and stimulate a global effect in your entire body from the inside out. 90% of your muscle fibers, up to 90% of your muscle fibers will go bonkers. They'll start firing away anywhere from 10 to 50 times per second without your brain telling it to happen. Hello, magic machine, you don't have to think. You just got to get on it and do. The rest takes care of itself. But if you're not used to using those muscles, they're talking. And guess what? If you have gut problems, and if you're not using those muscles and you're feeling pain in your back and your hip, or you have anxiety, or you are dealing with depression, or you've been down for a while, not sleeping very good, can't use the bathroom, this is what we want. It is causing this to start to light up, and that's what makes us feel better. But if you start to feel a little nauseous, have a seat and let your body get used to it, and then ease on back into it. Don't give up. Don't just stop and put it in the corner because you're scared of it. Get back on it, turn it on, and just change your body positioning. It's really that simple. And I'm going to show you some of those tricks here in just a moment. If you are starting to feel like you have to go potty, pelvic floor firing, and I don't know how many of you realize that your pelvic floor is probably not working, especially if you have back or hip pain. Make sure that you don't relieve yourself to the potty. I want you to think and hold that sucker like hold your pee, hold your poo. That means everything is firing. Our body and our brain have to get used to that for it to become a normal habit. And if you've been out of your habit and you're taking Metamucil or fiber in order to use the potty and you're having to hydrate and you still can't use the potty, that machine's going to make you want to go potty. So use it if you need to for that. But don't leave yourself to go to the potty. I promise if you think, ooh, hold the pee, hold the poo, don't leak down your leg because you don't want to embarrass yourself, your body will figure out how to do it. So it actually will help with incontinence. Awesome. That's how I got involved with it, guys. I'm telling you, it works. It is a magic machine that creates miracles because it creates the body's environment to be able to heal itself. So all you need is to just push the button and get started. So that's what we're going to do right now. Make sure that you have something to drink. That's a lot of talking. Now, when you get your product, you're going to get a lot of mini loop bands potentially, and you're going to get an extra mat that if you decide that you want to, use it on the floor because you don't want to hear like there's an earthquake downstairs if you're on an upper level. But you're going to get a lot of these different products. And I'm just going to tell you, when you unpack your machine and you get all of these other things, don't worry about using these right away or knowing how to use these things right away. I have got so many workouts that are out there on social media, and I can make you feel like it's the hardest workout you've done in your life, and I can make it the easiest workout you've done in your life. So it's up to you to decide what you want to get out of it. But don't be intimidated by the bands. Don't be intimidated by the other things that might come packaged in your box. Just set it aside, and then I'll show you kind of how you can use those later. Worst case scenario, if you want to do something different new every day, there's a great program that I started several years ago called I think it's the 28 day. It's the 28 days of knowing how to use your vibration platform. If you go to YouTube, it is in a video playlist. It's a 28-day challenge, if I remember right. And then we also have the 21 ways in 21 days to a better you. I did that series of videos a few years ago as well. So if you aren't sure what to do and you're wanting to work more intense using the bands, or doing more planking or doing more working out with weights, whatever it is you're looking for, 21 ways in 21 days to a better you. And the Life Pro Challenge, which is in the list of playlists for video categorized, you'll find those video series there, and it's day-to-day short 5 to 10 minute clips, me holding your hand telling you which buttons to push based on which machine I'm using. But you don't have to have that machine to do the workout. You can use any machine to do any workout. In fact, have fun making up your own. And if there's something that you love doing, send me a video of it, because I have some clients who will tag me on social media. They'll text me the video. They'll DM the video through Messenger and tell me, hey, Amber, this is what I'm doing. What do you think? And I'm like, that's awesome. Never thought of that. Let's run with it. So if you want to shoot me videos so that I can share with the world, because I created a lot of these, and when we all come together and we're sharing what we're doing, we all get to get better together. So if you want to text me those videos, if you are excited and want to pass them on down the line, 317-446-7971. Again, 317-446-7971. I might not respond to your text immediately, or I might have my assistant respond back to you immediately, but one way or the other, I will see your video, we'll save it, and we will share the video on a future episode, and I will make sure that you get credit for it. So if you haven't experienced itching or other symptoms when you're on your platform and you're not feeling those detox moments, it doesn't mean that you're not doing something right or that you're doing something wrong. All it means is that your body isn't responding the way my body might respond, or the way that somebody else is. We all have different ways of detoxing. Sometimes detox is sweating. So if you're sweating profusely, then your body is detoxing, but you might not itch. If you start to stink, because detox creates really stinky, but you don't have to sweat. You might just have an odor that kind of becomes overwhelming to you. If you're doing one of the semaglutide routines for weight loss, the injections, or you're doing the peptides, or you are diabetic, or you're going through the keto diet, you might smell yourself way faster than somebody who's not doing any of that, okay? So sweating, stinky, have to go potty. So if you have to go potty in the middle of a session, body is eliminating the waste. We are exercising to excrete, to eliminate, get rid of. And so that's what our lymphatic system does, to eliminate the toxins so that the muscles can grow, the fat can melt and shrink, and life just gets better, right? So it's not that you're not doing anything right. It just means your symptoms might be a little bit different, or your signs of detox might be different, and that's okay. But just remember, you wake up tomorrow, little sore, little stiff, get up, get going, get moving, get flushing. And remember, water and electrolytes, essential for your body to continue to repair itself. So if you're not drinking water and you're not getting the electrolytes, magnesium, sodium, potassium in your diet or in your skin, then start drinking. I'm drinking electrolytes in that bottle right there that you just saw me. And one of my little secret hacks is I get into an air tub at my home every single day, sometimes twice a day. And I take 2 pounds of Epsom salt, which is straight up magnesium, and I pour it in, it's magnesium and sodium. I pour it into my air tub, and I just sit there and float and relax for about 30 minutes and let the bubbles take over me, okay? So if you are looking for other forms of detoxing and trying to replenish the sodium and the electrolytes, but you don't want to ingest it, remember, your skin is a detox organ, but it also is a way for you to put stuff into your system. It goes through and through the membrane. So using my air tub, or using my bathtub, I actually get to soak, and that sodium and potassium makes its way in while flushing all the gunk out, okay? So those are some things, but don't worry about these. Go to one of our other videos to learn how to use these at optimal levels. And then again, remember, as you might see in some of my other videos, I have some other little props that I use And you don't have to have those things in order to be happy with your machine, but it can make a difference. The hip circle or the booty band, I don't like to use the rubber bands around my legs because the fibromyalgia points are painful. So I have the hip circle with the grippies, but they call these like booty bands, a glute master band. But you can put this around your hips and thighs, and it makes it more exciting from a muscle standpoint. You've heard me talk about the Amber Squishy Ball. If you have seen videos with me using the Amber Squishy Ball, I started this several years ago, and then LifePro started making their own Amber Squishy Ball. But we don't sell these separate. You can get this on Amazon for $10 if you look up a Pilates bar ball, B-A-R-R-E. This is a 10-inch ball, super squishy. I use this for a lot of exercises, especially if you have hip pain, back pain, knee pain, okay? So hip, back, or knee, I use the squishy balls a lot. And if you want the LifePro squishy ball, it comes included with the LifePro Horizon Balance Trainer. And if you have pressure points in your booty because of spine issues or sciatica, you can put this on top of any one of our platforms and sit on it, and it actually feels really good. It doesn't put pressure on your booty. So, and there's a lot of different things you can do with these, but you can use these on the platforms. We figured that out one day. Okay, so let's get on with it. We are going to do, I'm going to start with the Rumble X Plus. That's what I'm in right here in the middle. And all I want you to do, if you have a platform of any sort, it doesn't matter. You're just going to put, make sure it's plugged in, and make sure that the breaker switch, the button that lights up on where the plug is turned on to the on switch. And then from there, you're actually going to push the power button, if you happen to see a power button. Now, I'm on the Rumble X Plus. And on the Rumble X Plus, the P button is the preset program. If you're using a unit and it doesn't have a P on there, but it has a gear, it looks like a gear, you're going to push that gear, and that's what's going to give you your preset program. You're going to push whatever preset program you want. I'm doing the P2. You push play and then take action. Now, if you're afraid of getting on the platform while it's in motion, totally cool. You're going to push pause, okay? I'm going to step on and then push play, and there we go. Now, what's really important, make sure to keep your knees loosey-goosey. Do not lock your knees out, or you will feel it in your hips, you'll feel it in your back, and you'll feel it in your neck. So make sure and keep your knees nice and soft, okay? You don't have to get into a squat, just stand with your knees unlocked, okay? Now, I have shoes on today. I like to do these barefoot. So if you are wanting to take your shoes off, if you feel stable enough to take your shoes off and your socks off, because the more vibration that you can feel through the bottom of your feet, directly to the soles of your feet, the better your body transforms and changes, because 80% of the nerve cells that provide your brain with information on how to fix itself are only on the skin, on the bottom of your feet, and on the palms of your hands. So the more you can tickle those little cells, the more results that your brain gets to experience back and forth. Okay? So in this position, if you just want to try and equalize your body on both sides, what I want you to think about is on the bottom of your foot. I want you to balance 3 major points. The first point is at the base of your big toe, okay? And so on the base of your big toe, so base of big toe is right here, base of little toe, there's the balance, base of little toe right here, center of the heel at the bottom. It makes a triangle, okay? I'm gonna go barefoot here. And so we want you to get on there, trying to balance out as best as you can, and so that you can feel your big toe, your little toe, and your heel. If you're putting all the weight to the outside edge of your feet, the energy comes up the outside of your legs. You completely miss the inside. If you put too much weight on the inside of your foot, on the inside of your big toe, or if you have bunions, you miss the whole outside. Okay, so let's make sure that we are balancing those 3 primary points on the bottom of your feet. If you want to get into a squat and you're afraid to squat, take your hands, put them on your thighs, slide them down until you get to your knees, and there you are. Now you're in a squat. It's really that simple. Okay. And in this position, you're going to feel the vibration, especially in your butt and in your back, a little bit different. You'll actually feel it in your hips a little bit different. I like to sway side to side as I'm moving with the platform. Okay. And if we want to slide those hands back up, because if we're here and we don't want to stand back up from a squat because we are sore, then slide your hands down and then walk your hands back up. That's a super easy way to get yourself up if you get down and you can't get back up. And trust me, there are some of you who will have that problem, and that's quite all right. Now, the other thing you can do is slide those hands down and just relax. Okay, just relaxing in this position. We're feeling it in our calves. We're feeling it in our legs. If you have sciatica, you'll feel it up the backside, but you can just lean forward and hang out a little bit. Just make sure and keep your knees nice and relaxed, and then come on up. Now, if the intensity is too high for you, wiggle your feet a little closer together, because as you are closer to the center, the less the intensity you feel. If you want more intensity, remember, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if my feet are out wider, it's receiving way more of that vibration than if I'm more centered. Okay. So let's make sure you find your happy spot. And if your feet are not happy being as wide out as you have them, then just wiggle in until you're comfortable. Let your body receive that. Let's roll those shoulders a little bit, loosey-goosey. The worst thing that you can do, my friends, is to cross your hands or stick your hands in your pockets, because our body is meant to flow. It's meant to move. And if we fix our arms and I don't let our arms move, then the vibration changes how it enters the body. So let everything hang and let everything jiggle. And if you are somebody who's carrying a little bit more weight, or you feel your skin and your extra tissue flubbering, that's good. You have to flubber and shakey shake in order to wakey wake so that it can mobilize and you can melt it for energy. You shrink it for energy. If you can't mobilize it, it gets stuck and doesn't get used. So don't worry about what you look like on the platform, because I'm here to tell you. As funny as this is going to sound, I've got some people who are in their adult life who want to know how to torque. They've never been able to torque, and I can get them into a forward bent over position and they're torquing and they love it. So don't worry about what you look like. Have fun, be a kid, and know that however your body is moving, it is trying to let go of things it shouldn't have. Okay. So there is our Rumble X Plus. When it comes to upper body, I love using the Waver Mini for upper body. If you have the Rumble X series, whether it's the 4D or the Pro, it doesn't make any difference. But if you are wanting to work upper body, you're going to choose a lower level setting, because the upper body absorbs way more energy the closer you are to it. So we're going to push the power button, make sure it's plugged in, push the power button. I do not like to use the P2 setting for upper body. It's almost too intense, but I'm going to, because I'm going to show you how to adjust it if you decide to try it. So we have shoulder width apart with the hands, no matter which platform you're on, whether you have a turbo. The only one that gets a bit tricky is if you're on the rhythm, because it is really intense for one motor that close. But if you have, if you sit at a desk all day and you get carpal tunnel, or your shoulder and your neck are bothering you, your back is bothering you, if you just put your hands on here and spread your hands apart and just relax your head, looking up, looking down, looking side to side, it'll start to loosen things up. Most people have head pain, have headaches, neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, because the muscles in their neck and shoulders are really tight, creating more motion in the neck, which we're not supposed to have. So this kind of helps to break that up. If you can handle hands going forward, now you might turn your palms sideways and receive that energy. So for me, I'm getting a lot of this energy into my tummy and into my chest. And that's a great thing, because If you've got pneumonia, or if you have trouble breathing, or you've got asthma, or you've got cystic fibrosis, some of these things make it really hard to breathe, and the machine actually shakes out the gunk that's stuck in the alveoli and in the lungs and allows you to eliminate it. So less is better if you're currently sick. We don't want you to be sick and start to do a workout, but shaking this up a little bit kind of helps to mobilize the bad things in your system. So pushing the palms to the side. And then this last one is a little harder, but if you can turn your wrists so that your fingers are pointing towards you, this is a great stretch for those of you that sit at your desk all day. And if you can't make it all the way there, then you just turn until you're comfortable. It took me a couple weeks to get this one when I first started doing it. Now I can get it all the time. Now, my hands are really close to the center. And if I don't want to feel it more in my head, just take your head away from the platform so that your hands are still getting the energy. If you want to feel more in your shoulders, you're going to take a wider position with your palms. Okay? And again, you can go to some of my older workouts and see how we do, planking, where you're absorbing all of it up in your upper body. You can do dips. There's all kinds of different workouts that we've taught on the platforms. But that's how you can do upper body. Anytime you have a platform that has a curve on the ends, we want to make sure that you're trying to moderate out the center. Because if you have total knee replacement, total hip replacement, or you've got back pain, if we put your feet on a curve on the edges, it will actually can trigger, it might not, but it can trigger more discomfort. So make sure that as you are getting on here, we're going to start more centered, okay? And if you are somebody who has those joint replacements or those pains, we just have to be really mindful of trying to stay as flat as possible. So you might put a mat on here to equalize out. And if you just want to try and see what your body feels with the parts you got, go for it. But just know that you might be a little sore. On the other side is if you have the curved platform, whether it's the Pro or the 4D, and you're wanting to get more into the hips or into the inner thighs, for every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. So if you push into the platform, into the edges with a little bit of a squat, you're actually going to feel it here in your thighs. You're going to feel it here in your inner adductors, your groin, and you're going to feel it in your butt a lot more than if you're flat. So the curved platforms are just as awesome as the flat one, but the flat one is my favorite because it caters to everybody that I work with. And I don't have to worry about making sure that their alignment is coordinated based on where they have challenges in their body. But I love all of them. I actually use all of them. And again, you can go into just a forward bend. If you like and can get down into a squat, you can drop down into a squat. This is a position I like to end at the very end of the day in order to reset everything. You can roll back up. There's a lot of different ways in which you can settle and relax into this unit. The 4D, in my opinion, is the most aggressive for fat loss. But if you have artificial hip or artificial knees, you're not going to be happy with this one because the banking on it is pretty significant. And again, it can be too much of a good thing if your joints are kind of fixed. So again, P2 program on this one is my favorite, and you don't have to do anything. Just stand on it and let it roll. The Waver Mini, this is the one I like to travel with. I use this one a lot for traveling. I went to work at a country music concert a few weeks ago. I was covering 2 country music bands on stage during their concert, and we had one of these backstage. All the guys that played in the band stood on it just to lower anxiety and loosen up and clear their body of stress so that they could truly light up the stage, light up the show. And it's small enough that they can travel with it and it doesn't take up a lot of extra room. I have a lot of athletes who play sports on the weekend. They might be in anywhere from 4 to 10 matches in a 3-day extension. And so you can take this into a hotel room. It has the same type of plug-in that will plug into a lot of vehicles nowadays. So they can actually use it in between events or in between matches, flush out all the toxins, all the lactic acid, and restore really quick and feel fresh and restored and ready to go. I use a mat on top of this one because I don't like the texture of the mat on top of it for my hands. But again, we've got several different settings. Choose whichever one works for you. Turn it on and let it go. Again, this one, for having one motor, it packs a punch. You can see in my arms, they're going bananas. I actually feel a lot more in this one than I do in the Rumblex for the upper body, but it's tolerable and I don't have to take my hand super wide. Yeah, so this feels really good. You can push, squeeze, and separate your shoulders. You can look down, looking up, turning your head side to side. And then if you want to mix and match, go 5 minutes on your hands and knees, and then go 5 minutes standing. It's a much smaller surface. It has a weight capacity, I think it's like around 250 pounds. But it is just an overall, it's a good unit just to take and use anywhere. Takes up low space. So if you want 2 units in your home, 1 in your camper, there's all different reasons why you would have 2 units and have one that's really small and have one of the big ones. But this one, it goes through the motions, goes through the programming. So you get a little bit of everything, but it's just one motor. It's just the oscillating teeter-tottering motor, but it packs a punch. It has a feisty little engine that could, if you will. So that is that one. I'm not going to turn this one on because you won't be able to hear me if I do. It's actually a louder machine. On the rhythm is really good for people who are challenged with balance. And on the rhythm, if you just turn one of the preset programs on that one, it doesn't make any difference. Get familiar with which one feels best for you. P1, P2, or P3. It's got 3 preset motors. Once you turn the motor on, the time takes off. So you cannot change the time again or change the level on the motor. So you're going to turn it on, push start, grab onto the handrails, and enjoy the ride. It's that simple. If you use like a mat on top of the platform, again, it is a lot for the upper body. So be careful using it. You might have to go into manual mode, which will say HA. All of our manual mode machines are HA when you see them come up. And then you get to control the speed and you get to control the time. If it only will go up to 10 minutes, that's the max time. If some of you are wondering, well, how do I do a 30-minute workout? Well, do the math. If it's a 10-minute max, do it 3 times. So, you know what I mean? And yes, you can use the machine for more than 10 minutes, several times a day. You can use the machine 30 minutes at a time, a couple of days, or a couple times a day. There's a lot of options. So it takes a lot to do too much. Let's see here. Oh, good question with the Trimlite platform. I don't think I've done a video on that one. I have it. I don't think I have a video on it, but just remember, as you're coming on late, at the very beginning, I mentioned you don't have to have specific settings to use any one of the platforms. Get it out of the box, plug it in, turn on the switch, start pushing a preset program. You're going to choose a preset program, which is either going to be a P or it's going to look like a gear. Push one of those preset programs, push start, get on and go for the ride. And just start playing around with the preset programs and see which one works best for you. But you can use any one of my workouts, any one of the programs that we teach using our different bands and our different toys, accessories. You can use it on any platform, whether it's a LifePro platform or a different name platform. So just have fun with that. I wish the cord for power was longer. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad it's not longer because we have a cord problem in this building. So you can use an extension cord. We are hooked up to extension cords everywhere, but just remember, if the cord is longer, it's a trip hazard, which is what we don't want for you because you're getting on it to help with balance. I have all of mine plugged into a circuit breaker type extension cord. So if you have one that has a surge protector in it, all the units have a breaker switch, so you can turn the breaker off. You don't have to worry about a lightning strike frying your system if the breaker switch is turned off. Most of these units turn off automatically on the power switch. They will automatically turn themselves off if they're not used for 3 minutes. So if you turn it on, you walk away to go answer the phone, walk away to go take care of your little kiddo or to use the potty, and you come back and it's turned off, it's not broken, it just turned itself off for you. So if you have a short cord, don't like it, just do what we do. We're extension cord happy. We're cord happy everywhere. You can see I've got one over there with like 6 different outlets. We've got extension cords everywhere. Use an extension cord. You can leave it plugged into an extension cord if it is one that has a surge protector built into it. If it does not have a surge protector built into it, don't leave it plugged in because it's not safe and we don't want you to have a fire. So that's that. I am out of saliva from talking for an hour straight and not getting on there to detox long enough. So I'm going to let you guys get on your units and have fun with them. If you have questions after you've watched all the video from the very beginning, and trust me, when we upload these videos, it's outlined so you can go straight to the source if you have a question, but do feel free to go back and watch it all over again. And if you do have a question after you've watched the video and after you've tried your preset program and seen how it works for you, shoot me a message and let me know, and I'll be happy to help you out. But don't message me or don't message LifePro if you haven't tried by following the directions first. You have to do the work. So have a good attitude, believe in yourself because I believe in you, and be consistent. And 2024, it's a new you with LifePro. So thanks for watching and have a great day.